identified by cops. Go ahead and notify officers.
Copy that. I have the cat notes. Thank you.
Copy, you 6
My butterfly, she flutters by and takes on the wind. She takes to the sky. No jar to contain her, no net to make her mine. She lays on my shoulder, if only for a tease. Then off to the wind, floating on the breeze. Forever in that moment, she'll be mine. Butterfly. But I guess there's some things just not meant to hold. I guess if I love her, let it go. I guess if I love her, let it go. I wanna hold you, not hold you back. Tryna make sense of this, there ain't no making sense of that. And hoping's just hoping when we don't know a word. Want you to run so far, yeah, and fly so free. I've never felt so stuck in between. At the end of the day, just want you to stay, that you stay. I guess there's some things just not meant to hold. I guess if I love
Secretary 994, excuse me.
guess if I love you, let you go. 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 But how if I love you?
6.
Can I let you go?
Hey, welcome back to Live on Patrol Backseaters. Just a quick little, we are out at, actually Pat's not back yet. Pat will be back tomorrow. He took a little trip. But I did want to give you a little heads up on YouTube since we're not 100% sure. Well, we're not planning on broadcasting on Facebook tomorrow. We're not going to try to broadcast again until the World Cup is over, so we don't get some false accusation about some broadcasting them. It's the craziest thing ever. Some noise or something on our broadcast triggered 38 seconds of allegations of copyright, but of course none of that happened. We went back to look. The most likely was just the windshield wipers or the turn signals. Some of the squads sounding rhythmic, probably like some cheers in the World Cup, but we don't know. But hey, isn't this a beautiful view? You know, this morning at 9 o'clock, this was even prettier because the snow was stuck on the trees. We are in the city of St. Paul, in one of the beautiful parks in the city of St. Paul. We're at Phelan Park. Phelan Park over here. It's 30 degrees, light falling snow. We probably had 3 to 4 inches, get another 3 to 4. But up north of us in Minnesota, for those of you that aren't around, some cities are going to get 24 inches. Just imagine that, 24 inches of snow. Duluth's probably going to get a foot. But we got lucky. We're a little south of the line that's getting hit. But, you know, it's not unusual for Denver and those areas to get walloped. But, and Buffalo, of course, New York is off of Lake Erie there, is one of the busiest places. By the way, for those of you who are wondering, we're going to try to open up comments tomorrow on YouTube or chat. So you can try out, those of you that have been in Facebook, you've been trying out, well, you can comment. You know what a great group of backseaters we have on Facebook. But I hope someone will mention to all the backseaters on the backseater page. We're going to try to open up the chat tomorrow and see how that goes, as long as we can't use Facebook yet. We probably could use Facebook, but it's just not worth the risk of getting a second false strike. We'll wait till this weekend. The World Cup will be over, so the finals, the third place game in the finals, will be played out this weekend. But we're going to open up the chat on YouTube. We're going to ask people to be respectful. We are going to set it up so that you can only chat if you're a subscriber. And then if people are subscribers and they violate our standards of being kind, we will probably delete them or unsubscribe them or block them. So it's 9/11 tomorrow. Pat will be back. We'll see how this YouTube with the chat works tomorrow. But for those of you that don't get snow, this is your version of beautiful weather. Check out those pine trees with the snow hanging on them. Just some gorgeous. All the trees have a ton of snow just attached to them. This morning was the most pristine because it hadn't melted yet. It was just stuck in the trees. And our dog Rocco loves this snow. I got a video once so we get video. We're going to show you Rocco playing in the snow. It's kind of he's an amazing dog. Of course, he's part Burmese mountain dog, so they love playing in the snow. I saw some people are training their dogs how to ride sleds down the hill. That's pretty cool, actually. I'm thinking of training Rocco. For those of you that grew up in this area or visited Phelan Park, this is where we all hung out when we were kids. And coming up on the Phelan Park Pavilion. This is the Beach House Pavilion. There's a little house here next to the Phelan Beach. Of course, this is a newer version than when I was a youngster here. But just a great beach in the summer. And Lake Phelan is actually a relatively deep lake. It's at the end of the chain from Jarvis to Keller, Spoon Lake, and then Jarvis, Spoon Lake, Keller, and then here. And then it's about 80 to 90 foot deep in one spot here at the north end. Actually, some great fishing out here. There are no motorboats allowed on Lake Phelan out here. I think normally, I'm surprised they haven't. They usually put some light shows up here on this path, but you don't even need a light show with all this snow in these trees. It's just gorgeous. On the left there is a Phelan golf course. So our CAT team has been out this afternoon. They just arrested a party in a stolen car. We're going to have a day shift CAT team and an afternoon shift CAT team. Of course, they float back and forth, but just doing some amazing work. Just going to drive once more up here. The other major park, there's like 3 really major parks. Como Park. My wife grew up over by Como.
2752 is there,
And I grew up just north here, north of Lake Phelan.
Transporting one adult male from
And as I've mentioned before, the 1986 Ice Palace was built right down here on the island, down below the bluff here. See the bridge to the island. That was the really the Centennial Ice Palace. Charlie Hall was the chairman on that. My father was the coordinating engineer, chief engineer. If you're ever looking for a place to rent a picnic area here, this lakeside pavilion has 2 giant picnic areas, grills, etc., right on the lake. Just a very reasonable, great place. You got to get your reservations in early, but great place for a family or a large family picnic. So we're going to go patrol the east side a little bit here in a minute. Just wanted to make sure everybody knows we will not be live on Facebook tomorrow night. We will be live on YouTube. We're going to open up the chat. If you want to be in the chat, you will have to be a subscriber if you want to get notified about our start time tomorrow on YouTube. Well, there's no cost to subscribe to Live on Patrol. I know sometimes there is, but there is none for Live on Patrol. Did I mention the Winter Carnival Medallion has been here several times? I had great fun with my family searching for it on a number of occasions. Such a big park, there's a lot of different places to put it. So that's your view of the west side of Phelan. There's this road that we're on here. When I was young, used to go all the way around. It continued around the lake. And as young people, for those of you that remember, we used to drive around this lake 8, 9, 10 times. I don't know if most of the guys were looking for girls to connect with, but some of them were. That's all I'm going to say. The rest of us were probably just admiring the nature. But we used to drive around here, and then we'd settle down in a parking lot and just hang out and enjoy the beach. There was I wasn't part of this trend, but there was a couple bars here. They had one section they used to call Muscle Beach. Some of the gymnasts would work out on rings or on the bar to impress the rest of us. Sort of like it is on the west coast of California there in Venice. But eventually they eliminated those because for liability purposes, people were landing on their heads once in a while. So we're going to go out the entrance. This is, like I said, the west side of Lake Phelan. Wheelock Parkway up ahead here. Tonight, the president of Somalia is supposed to be coming to Minneapolis. He's in Washington, D.C. He met with President Biden yesterday or today. All the African Leaders Summit, and he's flying here for an event at the Minneapolis Convention Center tonight. I wouldn't be surprised if this weather delays his flight arrival, but I'm planning to be there to greet him. I met him once before in 2013. Actually, he lost an election and then he got re-elected. He and I are a little similar that way. We're both born in 1955. He was a president in 2013 when he was here. Then he lost an election, and then he got reelected. So, and of course, I have video of him in meetings in Somalia when Al Shabaab blows up the buildings that they're actually meeting in. And he's been very, very assertive in taking on Al Shabaab. And the country, of course, has been divided since the Civil War began. Really full-fledged civil war in Somalia since 91, but different factions have grown over that 30-year period. But the people deserve peace and stability. When we were young, our parents would bring us over to this area of St. Paul off of Arcade. All these houses that were just west of Arcade used to light up their houses. And there's a few left. If you ever get a chance, one of the best still is County Commissioner Jim McDonough. Right now you can't see it and all his lights aren't on, but he and his wife do an amazing job of decorating their house inside and out. It's right here. The lights will be on in a little bit on the corner of Montana and Arcade. Of course, they got a great manger there as well. If you ever wanted a good Christmas picture, it's right in front of their house on Montana and Arcade. But this whole area used to be decorated extensively.
Copy.
So, and again, this neighborhood, for those of you that are new, a home of East Siders extraordinaire like Herbie Brooks. Governor Anderson. I think Warren Berger grew up over here too. A little slippery.
Yeah.
So we wish Pat well. Went to visit some relatives. I did notice Chris Thayer said he was going to try to refocus his work on some other area. Chris, thank you for all your work. Thank you for all your work and making us laugh. Respect whatever decisions you make there. Pat and I talked on the phone last night. We think we need to do a naughty and nice list for Christmas. It's either that or a thank you list for New Year's. But we know that nice list is really going to be long. The hard part will be deciding on the naughty list, and we'll take any recommendations from the back seaters. Pat and I decided, so you can send us any messages to Live on Patrol, Pat or myself, that you think should be on the naughty list. But the nice list could be really long. We do a Saturday from 11 to 3. We are still doing the toy drive. You certainly can bring any clothes down that you got. We'd like to focus on toys for kids. On Saturday, we've gotten tons of great response. In fact, I'm going to call Rev Spence here in a minute, and he can just thank you again for the response. They're out every day looking for homeless people to help with the clothes, and they were over to Catholic Charities, Higher Ground, Dorothy Day today again, and very appreciative. Let me see if I can call Rev Spence. Call Rev Spence.
Calling Rev Daryl Spence.
That'll work too.
Advise 29, you can send me the list of snow shovel.
Copy the message for on your route to 2053 Priscilla Street for the death of the snow shovel. There a vehicle that was occupied 2 adults and 2 juveniles. White Volkswagen, 1690.
Greetings, you've reached Reverend Darrell Spence.
Well, doesn't sound like the Rev. Oh, there's the Rev. Call him back. Rev! Rev,
Yes, sir.
You're live on patrol.
Hi, live on patrol.
Howdy, are you finishing up, handing stuff out? Or I was just telling him, reminding him about our toy drive for Saturday down here and how
Yes.
we really want to focus on toys because you got a lot of clothing already, right?
Yes, we got a lot of clothes, meat, and hot dog. We had fun today passing stuff out. We passed out several coats, hats. That part is really doing great. I'm looking forward to the toys. Man, kids, the list is growing. We're getting lists from some partners that we work with, and I think it's going to be just overjoyed. It's making us feel like we're doing something that's necessary in our communities.
So you'll be there at the department at downtown. I'll be there as well on Saturday from 11 to 3.
Yes, sir.
Santa Claus will be there. We're going to have some hot chocolate and cookies again like we did last year if you want to stop in and drop off a toy. Wrapped or unwrapped, either way. Right now we're asking for them unwrapped, right?
Unwrapped,
Unwrapped.
please, so we can know where they go.
But I would say, there's still time to send a toy in through Amazon. Some people have done that, but you have boxes at all the offices, right? They can go on our website and find, or on our Facebook page and find out where the drop-off boxes are.
Yes, they can go there and they can go on either of the back sheeter pages and see the Amazon links. You have time, but let's make a big turnout on Saturday. I really want to see everybody. We can take pictures with Bob, Pat. Is Pat going to be there?
I think so. I don't know. He's coming back tomorrow. I think coming back into town tomorrow, but depends how tired he is from working Friday night. You know that.
Right. So, and of course, all the ambassadors, Michi, Star Wars, and David will be in the house. I noticed that people will be looking for us, so we will be there, ready to take pictures and do whatever you want us to do.
Yeah. Well, pictures are good. People are welcome to take them, but this is really about the kids, and we're just trying to make sure we can put a smile on everybody's face. I got a text from somebody today said, "Hey, I have no money to buy any presents for my kids. I have nothing. Do you think I can get a couple gift cards? Just give me a couple gift cards for Target so I can just go there and buy a couple little presents." So I did. I went over and took him a few gift cards from Target. But just think about that. I have nothing. I'm out of work. I don't have any presents. And I got 2 kids. So if you can't just get to a store and buy a present, bring one down, just drop off a Target gift card that they can run to the store. Walmart's good too. I mean, there's a gentleman that donated, $1,000 in gift cards for Target and Walmart. Doug is his name. It's amazing what the goodwill there is out there. And the only problem with Walmart now is they closed Walmart in St. Paul's, so Target is actually more accessible, right, Rev?
Yes, for those in the neighborhood.
Yeah. I mean, we can use the Walmart cards to go buy toys. That's the good part. But in terms of giving them away, the Target card is the most flexibility to help a family. And so whatever you can do, backseaters. If you can't do it, you can't do it. I just know that the smiles you bring to people's faces, it's pretty special.
Yes, we delivered a bag of toys to a mother, and the tears that she shed, and I mean those were sincere tears.
Yeah.
And she couldn't believe that we stepped up and She had quite a nice sized family.
Yeah.
But because of what the backseaters do, we're able to proudly walk up and hand her a bag so that she can take them, wrap them, and on Christmas morning, her family or kids will be blessed.
Right. And we don't take many pictures, or at least we don't broadcast many. We're not in the business of embarrassing people about being poor. You know, so it's a kind of satisfaction you just have to take in your heart, knowing that based on Rev's explanation. So we apologize for not posting a lot of pictures of deliveries to poor families, but that wouldn't be right either. So in fact, we don't even necessarily want the kids to know that the toys were donated. It's great if they think their parents were able to pull that together for them. So that's part of the other trick to the puzzle. So what else you got, Rev?
Well, all I can say is, man, I can't wait to see everybody. It's coming. Man, people are calling me right now.
Just for clarification.
I'll be right there. You know who you are. You're calling my phone. I'll talk to you in a minute.
Your nephew was playing for Roseville the other day against Moundsview, and I think they lost to Moundsview. What happened over there?
You need to be careful about talking about my nephew losing, man.
Was it bad? Was it bad fans in the stands or inappropriate behavior? Or I know you fans got a penalty for something over there. Just kidding.
Our fans were wonderful, wonderful fans at Roseville. Mary Kay's nephew had a great game. He just came out on the short end of the stick.
Okay, very good, very good.
So,
yeah, well, it's fun to watch kids out there on that hockey rink, because this Minnesota backseaters, there's everybody here has to learn how to skate. It's kind of required. And there are some rebels that just took up snowboarding instead of skating, but
right.
And a lot of snowboarders too. A lot of snowboarders. All right,
and we did get some snowboards in. We got a sled in.
Oh,
yeah.
Tell us more. Tell us more so we can imagine it.
Yeah, we got, man, there's so many baby dolls and candles for little girls and makeup, little makeup. I had to swallow. I'm like, man, the little kids putting on makeup, man, but I found out that's what they like. They like those type of things. So, yeah, and then there's the scooter where you get on and push the whole time. It ain't no motorized scooter. It's a nice push-em scooter. A bunch of basketballs and footballs and board games. And what's those darts, sponge darts, Nerf guns. I mean, it's just everything. It is, and I mean, the more we open, the more excited we get.
Hey, Rev, what's your favorite board game to play during the holidays?
Well, you know, I'm a Bikino guy.
Oh, you are? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. When I was growing up, I mean, obviously, when you're little, you're playing Chutes and Ladders, right? And,
we all played that.
Then Monopoly as you get a little older. Stratego was a great game. Chess, my dad taught me how to play chess. Battleship was good, but my favorite board game that we used to play with my mom and dad and I was Risk. Ever play Risk?
Yeah, I wasn't smart enough to play Risk.
No, well, the Risk, for those Risk players that are out there, you know that luck is a part of it. You got to make sure you never try to take over Asia. The Risk game is where the saying from 200 years ago came, don't have a land war in Asia, because it's tough to hold Asia. But the Risk game, you're trying to take over continents and eventually over the world. And so the larger your continent, the more difficult it is to hold it and secure the borders. But Risk is dependent upon your negotiation skills. Your alliances, your allegiances that you build with other countries, other players. If you can convince them that you should join forces against a third party, That's how the game.
Right.
That's how the game is
And then
won.
you lose.
But the problem is that eventually you have to turn on your ally. And my sister Jane never took that very well. She never took that very well. There's like 4 of us playing. My sister Jane, my mom, my dad, and I convinced my sister to help me defeat my mom. You know how that goes. And then,
Right.
but that's the part of the game, and so it's part of the negotiations. And I still remember the good times. Oh, but how about card games? Did you ever play 500 with Bowers?
Oh yeah, gin rummy. Yeah,
Gin rummy too. Yeah, but we played gin rummy, but 500 where you had Bowers and you bid. 7 hearts,
Right.
8 no trump, 9 clubs, whatever. That was the best time. And
sound like you was around Johnny Howard. He played them games.
He played those too. My dad was the best 500 player in America.
I'm pretty good at spades. If anybody out there wants to play spades.
Yeah, and hearts too. Remember hearts?
Yeah, I'm good at hearts too. So
Queen of Spades was 13 points against you.
13 points against you. But don't worry, I know how to get rid of her.
Well,
she'll be in your crowd.
Yeah, those are the great holiday memories of board games and card games around the table. While people are eating cheese and crackers and white wine, right?
You're right.
I was the only sober guy there. That's what made it easier for me to win.
Well, I'm the only sober guy now, so they swear I cheat.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Well, you go do what you do. Great. I'm over on Rice Street here doing a little patrol. And
okay. We're sitting at Frogtown Rec.
I'll swing by later. Work my way.
All
there.
right.
All right, buddy. Thanks a lot.
All right.
Thank you. Bye.
Yep. Bye, back Peters.
Well, that was the Rev, of course. That was the Rev. So we're northbound on Rice Street here at Atwater.
1,500, the fight broke up on the outside. The groups dispersed in the area, but
obviously, some of this weather.
Dispatch copy. It's not this first set, it's not over. It's 62.
Curtails a lot of the criminal activity. You can always call Rev, huh? Call the Rev, see what's going on. I mean, call up Pat too if we had to.
533, be advised, 1300 saying that the east side is broken up, but a bunch of them just something out there.
Sounds like they're coming up to the Skyway level now. Report Tango, GOA, will be in rush of the fight. Bravo 268, can you help me out on that as well?
Cap. 1630.
7 standard.
Got a little fight going on.
1630.
Most of it's broken up, but
It's code 4 right now, but they're all up in the Skyway level right now at the Alliance Bank building.
we're gonna go down there.
Code 4.
Was a fight.
Party's heading up into the Skyway from the Alliance Bank building.
Fights in the Skyway, not too far from where the double murder was. 2 guys got shot and killed.
287.
287.
Just a couple days ago.
Yeah, there's a few people out here. We're just gonna hang out and see if they leave.
They're probably gonna. The problem is, even if the fights broke up, the energy for the fight is still in the Skyway. So we'll go down there and see if it's
Squad 177
spills
to
out.
1441 University Avenue West for DOC. a male and a
Spills
female
out on the
coming into
street.
the store. The male took off his pants and then took his shoes off, and then now they're headed eastbound University towards Albert at 1634.
Which it usually spills out on the street and then onto the buses or the trains.
1634.
Copy. Regards to the 5 large group of teenagers walking eastbound through the Skyway. 2627287 call. 1635.
In case you're not from this news media area, we did two persons were shot and killed in the Skyway near the major transit station, so which is a little bit a hub of problems. Our Skyways in general are safe, but near the transit station there's often drug sales and drug activity. Sometimes those drug sales turn into arguments and drug rip-offs. I'm not saying that that's what happened here, but in nearly every case, a serious shooting incident has some drug or gang affiliation issue. And
they're going to the first floor of the U.S. Bank Center.
33 Tango.
Copy. Parties headed to the first floor of the U.S. Bank Center.
Can I get my case number?
so it's an ongoing issue for the St. Paul Police Department to try to keep the Skyways
Copy. Sounds like it's escalating.
safe and clear of problems.
274, please. Depending on that.
Can you repeat that again?
2 weeks ago, I met with some business owners, property owners. They asked to get some help from the sheriff's office down in the Skyway, and I told them I was open to that. I needed to meet with the St. Paul Police Department. So I've requested a meeting with the St. Paul Police Department to figure out how we can improve Skyway safety. And there's...
Alright, so let's go for now. Anyone who can slow down, we're just trying to get the group outside.
You can hear the yelling in the Skyway down there. Back
Copy.
in the
Code
back.
4 for now, trying to get the group outside. 1637.
Once they're outside, that doesn't necessarily mean the problem is over, though. Our Skyways system is pretty amazing, actually built back in the 80s, early 80s, late 70s, early 80s. You think about it, a town like St. Paul that has weather like this, what a nice amenity to have buildings connected by Skyways. Minneapolis, of course, has the same situation. Minneapolis maybe even more expansive. But one of the policy issues is whose job is it to provide safety in the Skyways? And, you know, it's always a debate.
177 caller doesn't want to be seen, right?
I can argue that it's the St. Paul Police Department's job, it's public space.
Alright, so
Your caller does not want to be seen.
Some of them went outside, east side of U.S. Bank, up to the Robert. Bus stop just south of 6. The rest of the group is going back to the Skyway U.S. Bank Center.
So you got two rival groups apparently that were fighting. So they got one group out of the
Copy.
Skyway.
Multiple groups separated. Parties headed out south of 6 to the bus stop. Buses remaining of the Skyway. 1638.
But there are some people that think the building owners should be responsible for the safety in the Skyways. Of course, some of the Skyways run through the buildings that they own. Others run over public spaces that they don't. Some of the Skyway space has a lien for the city to go ahead and use. It's complicated. Simplest way is really for the St. Paul Police Department just to accept responsibility for the Skyway safety.
I just want to reiterate.
That's my view. But
it's code 4 into vertical power. The problem has dispersed elsewhere in the Skyways.
But,
I just want to be aware of it. We are code 4 here.
number of squads came down here, obviously with the shooting here last week, or really earlier this week. There's heightened concern. So we got Central Channel is actually transmitting on Channel 2, and then some of the Western cars are downtown. They're transmitting on channel 1. Both essentially saying that the groups have left the Transit Tower building. Call it the Transit Tower because it goes from the transit at 5th of Minnesota up into the Skyway system.
177 at 1441 University Avenue West with the DOC.
So we are downtown in St. Paul, coming in on St. Peter Street.
To leave, they're refusing to put her shoes on. And it's going to be a white female, 50 years old, 5'4", thin build, wearing a red coat, denim and black sneakers at the hand. There's a cut on her nose.
274.
Just crossing over 7th Street. Mickey's Diner's on
Looks
our
like
right
that
there.
big group of kids is heading back to the west, back to the tower.
I can guarantee you
Copy, the large group of teenagers is headed back to the tower.
Some of these kids are watching live on patrol right now. I don't know how many, since we're not on Facebook right now. We're just on YouTube. And if they are, they'll have some not so kind words. Because some of these groups are just...
Right, so some work the code 4 at the U.S. Bank Center. All the parties have left.
not very kind.
Copy, code 4, U.S. Bank Center.
I see a lot of people
15,
coming
41.
down. We got... You'll see the squads ahead of us there. There's the tower on the right side. You'll see that big 3-story tower that connects...
Just to advise, the Millhouse did return.
261, copy the well check, north of 527 Street East. 1641.
Technically, the policing of that tower rests with the Metropolitan Transit Police. But everything that happens everywhere else out of that tower away from the bus stop is the responsibility of the St. Paul Police Department. So... You'll see transit, transit 3, transit 4, transit. Pretty much all the transit cars are here right now. The Skyway is right above us. One group in the Skyway. It's a tricky legal issue because, of course, people have the right to walk in the Skyways, but they don't have a right to be criminal in their behavior.
287, one in custody.
1642.
Eventually the groups will pop out and get on a bus or get on this is a one-way to one-way, so we are allowed to turn on the red here. So we're down here, a couple rival groups are having a little fight in the Skyway. For those of you that are just joining us, I know there are some in, down at the St. Paul Main Transit Station at 5th of Minnesota. Yep. Hey, how's it going? So there's a couple watching.
Response for the 1700 UT, spot 130.
What's going on? How are you? How are you? You waiting for the bus?
Spot 133. Happy anyone? Spot 138. Spot 144.
Hey.
Squad 147. Squad 154.
There's 2 McDonald's cars, buddy.
Squad 152. Immediate response for 1700 EOD.
If they're kind and nice,
Squad 960.
give them a little bit of help, get some dinner. So this building right here, we're coming up onto the U.S. Bank building that one of the groups was in and coming out of. But again, it's an interesting legal issue because certainly people have a right to use the Skyway. They just don't have a right to fight or be disorderly. The officers, of course, have to establish probable cause that they're being disorderly, which isn't always that difficult. Behavior tends to alarm others or cause fear, that qualifies as disorderly. It's got to be your behavior, though. Saw some interesting reporting on fentanyl deaths the last couple days. It's got to be a top priority for all of us, reducing the number of fentanyl deaths. Just the last 5 years was skyrocketing, probably 8 years ago for opioid use, but the advent of fentanyl, and of course you've seen the pictures of fentanyl and being disguised as candy, which of course is terrifying, but fentanyl being disguised as actual other prescription drugs, Percocet or others, that's even worse. If candy, you can kind of say, I don't think that looks right, but when you get someone gives you a prescription drug with a number on it, unless you picked it up at the pharmacy yourself or your family members did, I wouldn't trust it. The day is going to come where someone even sneaks it into a pharmacy.
243 OT.
There's a lot of
Copy. Checking for you.
people spend their time figuring out how they can cause problems for others.
Squads 4, 1700 EOT. 233 Tango.
233 Tango.
239 Tango.
239 Tango.
250. 250 for DOT.
250.
251. 255.
Snow's letting up a little bit here.
259. Anybody else for EOT?
You've all been with us on this trip by Rice Park here.
Copy.
It's like a family
Have a great night,
get-out.
1641.
Go enjoy Rice Park. It's 10 to 5 here locally. There's our Herbie statue, Herbie Brooks up there, celebrating the win over the Soviet Union in 1980. With his little lineup card in his hand. His brother David Brooks, great hockey player as well. He still lives here and has several buildings that he owns in downtown St. Paul. St. Paul Hotel, one of our nicest hotels downtown, right across the street. From Rice Park. What do you guys got planned tonight? How's it going?
You guys are in trouble.
Oh no, what are we doing today? Are we going out? We're going through the parks?
We're going to the CHS Field.
I am.
We're waiting for the trolley.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
My job is to keep you safe.
Yeah. And when you don't listen to us, you go in the back there.
Well, there is
Wait,
that.
7 only see the mail.
In about 10 years, I don't want to go pick you up from the station.
They look like great kids, though. Where are you headed, though? What activity?
Oh, CHS Field has.
Oh, you're going down to the Glow for the Glow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's beautiful there.
Yeah. So we figured we'd take the trolley and.
Yeah. Did you park up here? Or are you staying at the hotel?
No, we parked over here.
Yeah,
in
parked.
Rams.
Yeah, that'll be fun. I've been down there. It's really nice.
Yeah.
Is it? Nice.
Really nice. Yeah, it's a great night for it too.
Yeah.
The weather's perfect.
Thanks.
See you guys later. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Yeah, that's right. I forgot about the Glow. They're going to take the trolley from up here at Rice Park down there.
Squad 533. This is going to be advised with downtown and central tonight.
So
Copy. 1652.
squads are clearing the little fight that occurred down here. So anyhow, tomorrow night, 9/11 normal time, will be on YouTube. If you want to leave some comments, we're going to turn the chat on, but we're going to limit the chat to subscribers so we can kind of control the nature of the chat. We don't like unkind comments. We're going to do what we can to delete or block unkind comments. So we will have Nicole Sparks will be out in her own squad tomorrow. Deputy Williams, I don't think you've met Deputy Kyle Williams. He'll be out in his own car tomorrow too. I think Deputy kills off, but Deputy Williams will be taking his place. Pat and Mike will be out in his car, and I think Alex is working. I don't know if I mentioned, but Action Alex is are assigned as our DWI. We have a grant from the state to enforce driving while intoxicated, and he works 4 nights a week as the DWI guy. But of course, when as needed, he'll run in and help us on other matters as well. But we do have a grant
272, this is unfounded.
for Alex to work on DWIs.
That's 1654.
Who else are we gonna have? I think that's it. Mike, Pat and I, Sparks, we got to come up with I still haven't decided on a final name, but Deputy Nicole Sparks. I mean, Sparks itself is a really pretty good name, right? I don't know. I gotta ask. Some people, it isn't appropriate to use their last name as a nickname. You know, and you can't make fun of a name either. I mean, it's got to be a name worthy of her work ethic, which is very, very, very good work ethic.
1655.
So pass the word where you can on Facebook that we won't be on Facebook tomorrow. I expect we'll return to Facebook next week. But we will be on YouTube tomorrow. Let's try to set a record on YouTube if we can. Or at least, get in the top 3 or 4. If we can get 13,500 simultaneous YouTube subscribers, that would be our second highest ever. Our highest ever was 18,000 simultaneous viewers on YouTube. That was on a Sunday night when nothing was going on and football was over. But our second highest is 13,000 simultaneous, but that was typically in the summer. So let's see if we can get, since we're all going to be on YouTube, see if we can get up to that 13,000 simultaneous. It'll be tough, we know. And there are other things to do at the holiday season, so please feel free to go enjoy your family time. Get ready for Christmas. Get your shopping done, men. Don't wait till the last day. Do not wait till the last day. We're going to wrap up here in 3 minutes. Going to pull up to the Capitol. We still haven't decided what we're going to do for New Year's. I still want to do something significant on New Year's because we know we have a lot of backseaters that will spend New Year's at home. And we want to share it with you. Actually, home's the safest place on New Year's, to be honest. About the light show on the cathedral this year. We'll see if they do that again. As soon as Christmas is over, though, you know that the not the Twin Cities, but St. Paul turns its attention to the St. Paul Winter Carnival, which is an amazing time, and the activities that are associated with that. We'll see if we can get Nicole knighted by King Boreas, or if we can get Pat. Pat got knighted by the Vulcans, but I don't know if he ever got knighted by Boreas. We'll see. So tomorrow night, 9/11, we will see you then. Please join us on YouTube. We'll be back on Facebook next week. Finish up with a good look at our Minnesota State Capitol. Thanks for joining me for an hour just to bring you up to speed. And if you want to be sure to connect with us, just go on YouTube, and if you haven't already, subscribe to this so you never know when we're going to start for sure. That's the thing about this business on Live on Patrol. What a gorgeous view of our capital, huh? Gorgeous view. Thanks so much for joining us. We will see you. Pat and I and others will be there. We'll see you. Oh, I just got a message from the historical best Vulcan of all, Tommy Barrett. He says, we're going to come up with a good Vulcan nickname for Nicole Sparks. Oh, we don't know when he's going to knight her, but I think it's going to happen. All right, thanks, everyone.